I have another big piece of evidence to release on omgbomber.com. If you scroll down past the social medias and get to this video right here, this YouTube video, just right past that, boom, proof of land fraud starts right here. Government corruption. I've been talking about this for a while. Basically, I made it very clear and able to see the Wyandotte County itself, if you click this link right here, says they were hit by a cybersecurity attack over the Easter weekend. Basically, they postponed their events. Look what's happening here. The delinquent real estate tax sale, 349 and 350, the one I was involved with, will be rescheduled for June 29th, 2022. Stay tuned. Basically, adding one more month to the time there, and I was like, okay, well, that's kind of weird. I won the bid on 6/29/2022, just like it says it was postponed to. I was the one and only bidder. The government itself, here, if you zoom in here, denied me the ability to apply for a criminal case. Look at this. Wanted to report fraud, theft, and government corruption. Was given information to contact Kansas General Attorney's Office. I told them that they already did that. Here's the officer and his badge number and my complaint number and the time that I did it, just last year here. But anyway, if you look at this, I have a humongous list of what's going on. I have this name Irene Hicks who's on there. She's been dead since 2019 apparently, so she's gonna be no use of evidence. I can't really do anything, and I just added this. I heard that she worked for the government. They said that she was a lawyer for the government. I was like, that makes no sense at all, but okay. If you look up Hicks, this lot number right here, you used to be able to see the lot number, at least, but then if you looked it up, minus 2022, look at that. Minus 2022 and 22, nothing comes up on all of Google. Why is it that nothing came up on all of Google? Because that lot number didn't exist before 2022. And I'm trying to prove it here, okay? Basically, I'm trying to prove that it was a scam invented within the last like 1 or 2 years before the auction, right? And this is part of the evidence that is going to prove that. Now, with all of this proof, below here is zoning. I went over that in a different video earlier. But basically, this is the lot that I have, and you are not legally allowed to have fences within 3 feet of the property line, and you're not allowed to have a house within 5 feet of the property line. Literally on both sides of this lot are examples of that rule being broken. Now, this house might actually be within the 5 foot line, so they might have broken every rule imaginable right now on this zoning laws. So we'll just go past zoning laws real quick. We'll go to the grass. The grass was unmowed and obviously present for over 2 years. Look how big and tall the grass was here. If you look to the next, there's boarded up windows. Look at that, similar to other tax auction homes, boarded up like this. The government asked me when did I purchase that lot with the house on it, not the lot with the, all the strange occurrences happening here. The lot, is literally, it says 918 H Scott Avenue, but it's only for $140, right? But look at this one. My name is on a lot that says 918 Scott Avenue right here on their website, right? And if you go down here, I gave all this information to them and they just don't even care. Look at this, zeros, taxes, zeros, fees, zeros. Why is there taxes and fees that are all zeros? It's all zeroed out. There's no taxes, no fees, all zeroed out. You look at tax map key, it says I'm the owner. Right? Where is it? Where does it say it? Right here. Ownership, me. Ownership timeline, purchased February 2021. Okay. Here's the tax sheet. It shows how much the taxes are. If you look it up on Google, it'll say 1.64%. If you do the math, I should have a $44,000 home, a $66,000 commercial property, or a $133,000 lot. As per this website right here, you can just click this right here and get to that website to see it. It's all right there. Anyway, if you go and scroll through here, you can get to... Oh man, I just lost a whole lot of space, huh? Now, take a look at this. Right here. And tell me that's not photoshopped. Look at the lot IDs. 603, 604. Well, why is this not 604 and why is this not 605? If you have taxes from 1962, how come you didn't zone this the same way originally? Why is this zoned as like 630 or something like that? Why is it zoned way at the end of the zoning number? Because you just added it, in the last couple of years, of course. Obviously, these lots are not ordered correctly. Yep, obviously. And it looks like it's photoshopped. Here's my proof that I paid my taxes in the last couple of years. Here's my deed that they gave me. And here's a pamphlet where they show me the fees. I was like, okay, how come the price of this lot's so high? I added up all the fees, or all the prices, and they're like, oh, because the fees. And I was like, oh, you just have an answer for everything. You just thought about all of this, didn't you? In my mind. But look at this. This fee is $24.35. The actual taxes are $3.95 right here, right? That means the fee is 616% annual. Imagine paying 600% of your home every single year just to keep it. Just because you were late on your taxes. Now get this. The minimum wage back then was $1.15. That would mean that you had to work almost 3 days to pay off your taxes if you were late on taxes. 3 days. Now look at this. 121% in 2021. Now, if you scroll up here at the top and you go to 2021, or 2020, my bad. Wait. 2019. I'll change that in a little bit. Really, it means 2019. The fees were $17. The general taxes were $15.28, right? Look at this. 121% of the taxes for 2019. Now, if you look at this, I had their website pulled up. It says 0 fees on all of these. Fees are 0, right? That was on their website. But then get this. It also says that my address is 918 Scott Avenue on here too. I downloaded the HTML, and if you want, you're welcome to it. It's on this Google Drive. I've saved it and put it there. It's the HTML from their website. I downloaded it and just uploaded it right away. I took a picture of it, and that's the picture right there. Now, if this isn't enough evidence, I went to their court, and I was like, hey, can I get a lawyer? I gave them all the files and everything. They're like, we don't think you have a case. Well, of course you don't think that you have a case, because you're literally here trying to, remove me from having a case. You're trying to shun me from having a case. You're trying to remove my voice. You're trying to stop it. You're part of the problem. You're literally a gang that wants to steal that house to keep it in your control, to get, money in your control. That's what it is. Now, I'm legally allowed to have the voice of this. I am allowed to have these, I'm allowed to have this reason. I'm allowed to have this suspicion. I am allowed, my First Amendment right is the right to petition the government. I can petition the government as a criminal. These are government workers that I'm petitioning as a criminal. I'm legally allowed to do that. Now, if you look here, $25 in 1962 is worth about 260 USD nowadays. Imagine paying a $260 fee. Imagine a fee that's $260 right now. Like, nowadays, the fees are like, I think I looked it up, it's like $16. All right, for a late fee. And then plus like 12%. 12% of your initial cost, and then $16 if they have to list it to public auction. Right? So only if you lose your house, or you're going to lose your house, is when they charge you a $16 flat fee, and then you have to pay the 1.6% taxes, and then you have to pay a 12% late fee. And that's it. And that's all there is. And then you're done for the year. You move on to the next year. And then you do it all over again. Well, apparently they didn't follow the law, because down here I have this website right here, kansasrevenue.gov, where it literally tells you in 1962, so between 1950 right here and 1994, it says 18% is the rate, because Kansas government used to be the unified government before the Wyandotte government consolidated with Kansas government, and they made the unified government. Now the unified government is guilty of being corrupt, and they're going to be going to another government. Basically, it's a government plex. In reality, when a government gets corrupted, the citizens complain to the federal government, and then the federal government storms in with all kinds of random people that have all kinds of, lives on the line. Like it feels like their lives on the line. These federal agents come in, and they're not really federal agents. They're people that are going to be like hired into governments from the federal agents, and the federal agents do come in at the same time, and they consolidate it. That's what's really going on right now in this government. Now, let's get out of the fees for a little bit, because you can read about this all day long. You can read on my website, omgbomber.com, if you like. But here's one of the next things. I have Wendy Green as a suspect of crime. Why do I believe that she's a suspect of crime? Is because she said the unified government will not participate in any way to give me possession of this property. Basically, you're not even legally allowed to say that as a lawyer of a government. And let me tell you why you're not legally allowed to say that. You would have to say, due to the current evidence that which you have submitted me, I don't have the capacity, or we, the unified government, will not have the capacity to participate in assisting you to gain possession of this property. Now, if you read this post fully, there is no world in which a government should be saying that they don't have the capacity to participate in any way to give me this property. This is an illegal sentence. If you ever get this in my shoes, you know that there's government corruption on the line. And this was written by Wendy Green in this post right here. The unified government will not participate in any way to give you possession of this property. You absolutely do not own it and have no right to it. That's a demand. You can't actually tell me that. You can't, when I'm literally developing a case around it. Like, I literally have the most rights of any other person in the world, considering all the evidence that I've compiled. I am the most righteous person to own this property, next to whoever they're trying to propagate as the owner. Now, in reality, I am the most righteous person to own this property because of all the proof that I have. The other person is just, in reality, is squatting there. Now, I truly believe that terrorism is present in this case. They're using a thing called directed energy weapons. They're trying to attack me, and they're trying to pause and crowd control me, basically, is what I said right here. They're trying to crowd control me. So I'm applying to toll the case, which is pausing the statute of limitations, which I already notified them that I'm considering the case paused. Meaning they don't really have any rights to pause a case or unpause a case. I mean, they do, but they're a lower court. So if I ever go to a higher court and I get the authority from the higher court to be allowed to participate in a tolling, then basically what we're trying to do is we're trying to get the Freedom Act to access the Foreign Surveillance Act, which allows allied countries around the world to spy on us in hopes to aid counterterrorism forces with any level of technology. Now, I'm also claiming that they're doing fraudulent concealing. So basically, they're using terrorism forces to do high-level concealment and encryption on this case. Not only that, government corruption on this case, which basically extends the time that I need in order to win the case, because I can't get all of the evidence right away. I have to compile it over long periods of time and use multiple different, outlets and government agencies to get all of this stuff, out into the public's eyes. And now, let's look further in here. I truly believe that they know that I'm a gamer. because they know that I'm a gamer, that means that I have to spend time gaming, right? Instead of working on like war, for example, right? To them, they're these government agent-minded beings. They want to go up in governments. They want to capitalize in the universe, and they want it now. They don't want to do. They don't want to wait. They're illegal government corruptionists, and we need to catch them. We can't just say they're doing it. Now, I'm saying that they're doing it because it's my legal right to petition the government. I'm literally legally allowed to blow the whistle on all this stuff. And I'm not just saying it, I'm showing it. None of the numbers match up. If you scroll up here, this number right here, 2173.57, is not the number that I paid. I paid 2194.53. That's the number I paid. This is my actual bank, boys and girls. To Civic Source themselves. This is the website. This is my bank. This is my bank receipt, boy, right here. You seeing that? This number don't even. None of these numbers make any sense. Is what I'm trying to say. So when you go back down here, we're talking about the tolling. That should be a given. Gamer. They're being prejudiced to me. They know that I'm a gamer. They know that they can, keep crowd controlling me with terrorism. Because with just the crowd control of terrorism forces and the gamer being a gamer, that should give them an automatic advantage to stall this out. And since they have a government corruption in that region, they can just keep denying me my court case over and over and over and over and over until, hopefully they have to go on to the next government and try and do it all again. Now, I went to the nearby lawyers right here. And I emailed over 100 of them. Lawyers are very smart. This is a part that's kind of hurting me. It hurts me because the people that are literally career criminalists are afraid. They don't want to take my case. They know that this case involves terrorism. I seen it in their eyes. When I sat down with them, they wanted nothing to do with it because they don't want to deal with the side effects of taking away a criminal's house and getting terrorized by a criminal. And I'm claiming to be terrorized every single day. I've been terrorized for the last 8 years, every single day. Almost full time. I don't get peace anymore. If I go to peace, there's like an alarm in the universe where terrorists show up right away to try and do terrorism. The Kansas General Attorney did not want to take emails regarding this county. If you look up the Kansas General Attorney in the past, he said, do not email me if it's about Johnson County or Wyandotte County, and then another county. I don't really know what county it was. Anyway, they're denying me my voice. They're denying my right to a fair trial and a trial by jury. Now that's for the defendant as well, but at the same time here, don't I have the right to start a court case? Don't I have the right for my voice to be heard? Don't I have the right to petition the government? Do I not have the right to a day in court? Is that not my right? Anyway, I've sent this to the Supreme Court. I sent this to all over the place. I confronted him on YouTube right there. A squatter. I have him suspect of a crime. And here's the thing is, what ifs just don't count. You know what I mean? Like, I have all this evidence. All this evidence that the data is changing, right? I have all these numbers that everything's changing. I have all this terrorism complaints. I'm complaining that I'm being terrorized. I have people coming to me every single day. If you come to me every single day, you're going to see terrorists every single day. Just think about me. Astrally teleport to me and view my surroundings. You're going to see terrorists around me. You're going to see people trying to do terrorism, trying to harm me, trying to kill me. People are trying to kill me over this kind of stuff. They do not want me to have profits. They do not want me to have a home. They're trying to sentence me to homelessness. Like, it's like their court is the homelessness court, and their court is the heart attack court. Their court is the terrorism court. Like nobody in the universe owns these kind of things but them. They're the lord of terrorism, the lord of houses, the lord of heart attacks. That's how they act. Meanwhile, I have all the evidence in the world. You know, you look up at tax map key, you click this link right here. What does this say right here? It has Michael Anthony Nava as a renter. It has me as the owner. This man is suspect of crimes. This man is suspect of terrorism. This man is suspect of attempted murders. This man living there is suspect of trying to steal my life. In so many different ways you would never even believe it. I believe that we have the right to a reasonable defense against the accused. I believe this man is using super technology to do terrorism. Who has the right? Who has super counterterrorism? Whoever has super counterterrorism, man, you're doing a good job because I'm still alive. But at the same time, you could be kicking more butt. All right, you can be doing better. All right, you could upgrade that thing. You can turn up the voltage a little bit. I'm just saying. Anyway. OMGBomber.com if you guys want the full read. It's on here. I'll add some more stuff to it too. I have private emails from Wendy Green that I haven't released yet. Maybe I'll do a video on that. I'll go over every single one of her emails that she emailed to me. They're super obnoxious. You guys will get a kick on how a government lawyer is treating a United States citizen that has all kinds of proof that I bought property, and they're just trying to tell me that I don't own it. I mean, I know that I own it because I watched it change in front of my eyes. And I don't mean in front of my eyes literally. I mean like over the course of months I watched it change from 918 Scott Avenue to 918H Scott Avenue. A lot that never should have existed. A lot that wasn't on Google Maps. In fact, if you read this whole article, it says in here that the lot did not exist on Google Maps. It did not exist. Yeah, it did not exist. Where is it? Let's see. In Microsoft Maps either. Yeah, right here. Many online map providers did not have it. If you look it up on Microsoft Maps, it doesn't exist. The lot address doesn't exist. If you look it up on Google Maps in the past, it didn't exist. It just got added recently in the last year or two. Not only that, I mean, there's people trying to control the narrative over me, too. It's like, we're not negotiating right now. Do you understand that? This is my narrative. You are not in your right place in space. That's what I mean by terrorism, is like, you do not have the authority to listen to me record this video. You have the authority to watch it and comment underneath below. That is my Third Amendment right. No matter what, there's no mistaking that. You are not able as a citizen to break my Third Amendment right. I still just can't believe that this case is still going on after 3 years and so much evidence that I have. I mean, 616% taxes on a fee right here. That's just not even, that's not realistic. Not to mention, you just could scroll down and hit this link right here, and it literally tells you that there's no fee greater than 18%. It's just 18%. Boom, that's it. And then on to the next year. This government is just a joke. They're writing whatever they want. Petition them. You have the right to petition Wyandotte County. OMG Bomber out. Peace.